Okay. Hi. So I got to add the N to the drowning. I have Texas is drowning. Oh my gosh, you guys. And hello to the 13 in the where would you be? It's July. I don't want to say by the riverbanks. That's just ridiculous. By the orc shirts. or by the olive groves if you're in Greece. But of course, Crete has been on fire. I didn't realize that it was in Greece going on for 2 weeks. Their fires. I thought it was just the past few days. I went over to YouTube and took a look there in Turkey, all different parts of Greece. Hi, everybody. So, who's here? Let's find out. Mary Jane Doe. Hello. Hi, Tashi 2.0. Hello, Freeside. Luna 3 Moon is here. Not just Luna Moon, Luna 3. All right, locked and loaded. Hi. Oops. Oh, God. Well, I could put these all on. There we go. Let me put them all on. That's a lot of exclamation points. Thank you. Did I do this one already? I can't remember. You can't just hit it once now. It has to be twice. Goodness gracious me, oh miser. Okay, we'll get down to, look at all that. That's right. Is that other flag Australia? Let me see. Is that Australia? Yeah, it is. And Tashi's from Australia. All right. And it does sound like Pink Floyd, and that's what I thought too. There's one song, maybe I'll play it tomorrow, called Clocks. Oh my gosh, I instantly thought of Pink Floyd. It was amazing. Welcome to everybody. Well, here's someone new. Sprite 323. My son just had a Sprite the other day. Welcome. Max Smith. Max Smith had a birthday just the other day on the 3rd. I wasn't live that night. Luna 3 Moon says that's me. Okay. Bananas. Bananas. Are you eating bananas? Well, you know, people that like Trump won't really like my program or the name of my title, but that's too bad. And I mean, it is what it is. And instead of just coming up here and getting all upset about things, I'm going to read some things. Now, I thought NOAA, the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, was dismantled totally, and it's not. Let me see if I can wipe the camera a little bit. That's a little better. And there's Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Yo, hello, hi everybody. So,
'Cause I don't know if you can hear me. I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Okay. 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 Can you hear me?
So yeah, I'm going to read some stuff. Man alive. I told him I was going live, not to interrupt. And what does he do? Just no respect. Ugh. And he's not a kid. He's 29. Hi, Sierra. Hello. All right. So, in case I come across an advertisement or something, it'll take me just a second to. Okay, I found it. And while I'm reading, if I miss your name, don't be offended. Thank you for the 19 in the olive groves. We'll pretend you're in Greece in the olive groves. All right. So I typed in, did Trump dismantle NOAA, right? The National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration says, no, Donald Trump did not completely dismantle the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. However, his administration implemented several significant actions impacting the agency. A prairie fire at max. I prefer cornfield. Oh, are you talking about where I'm saying people are? Cornfield would be good, but I'm pissed off at Iowa right now. I am. I'm upset that he was over there talking, or whatever you want to call it, fluffing his peacock feathers after he signed that big bogus billionaire bill. Hi, Tabitha. Tabitha, you're rapper right now? Okay, so key actions affecting NOAA during Trump's second presidency as of early July 2025. Okay, this isn't the past, this is now. Employee terminations and buyouts, resignations. Around 850 to 880 employees were terminated, and over 1,000 employees accepted buyouts or resigned. I'm going to read this, and then you'll hear the significance of all of this and how it relates to weather catastrophes we're going through now and we will be in the near future and future all over the world, frankly. This included scientists, researchers at key offices like the National Hurricane Center and Storm Prediction Center. They are saying on the news, because I've been following it like other people, that the Hurricane Barry that was off of the Carolina coast is what caused all this precipitation and intense rain, right? in Careville, Huntville, and other areas of Texas, in the middle of Texas. So it does matter. It is significant. No, it's not Trump's fault, Michelle, that they had flash flooding. But what I'm saying is that it very well could be in the future if they don't keep NOAA, the National, Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, intact and fully, because already they're only releasing 6 balloons up into the air. I read that. Instead of, was it 15 or was it 100? I don't know, but it was more. So because of tax cuts and all this, he wants to save money everywhere he can. Education, the LGBTQ community no longer has a 1-800 SUICIDE line. That's really sad. Okay. Also that his Republican donators and people like him can get a $40,000 extra a year. That's what it is. Or at least the people in Congress will be getting that much extra. As far as regular Republicans, like down south and stuff, and we all know I'm up in Washington State, we all know I'm a Democrat. But that's what this is about. They can get more money while people like us, or me and other people, middle class, get to suffer more. And, wonder if we're going to lose our health insurance. Okay. That's my biggest thing, more than food stamps. I mean, we'll just eat less, we'll survive. But I don't want to possibly have another heart attack or stroke someday and either be turned down or have this hospital up here be dismantled or whatever the case may be. God forbid I'd have to be flown to Harborview in Seattle. I mean, it's a really big deal. And if you're youngish, in your 30s, 40s, even 50s, you don't think about having a heart attack or a stroke. Everybody assumes, like I did, that would happen later on in my 70s and 80s. No, Okay, so no, checking weather 615. I haven't watched CNN in a year, and MSNBC. I don't even watch CBS and ABC. And this is what the Republicans do. I'm going to say it. You guys all call that fake news because that's what Trump says. First of all, CNN does have some fake stuff now and then. I've seen pictures, of that's put up on Facebook and stuff of people putting Biden's head, photoshopping his head on someone's body in a nursing home. Okay. I don't believe it's fake. It's what Trump doesn't want to hear. That's what it is. But I've said this before for people that don't know me on here. Live Now Fox is what I follow. They're unbiased and they just get the information from all avenues, but they don't like go on CNN. It's all one streaming network of different cities, and it's real and it's in time. And that's what I watch. And so Max Smith says that is like turning $1 into 40,000 in 15 years. Yeah. Max Smith says someone who invested 200,000 into Bitcoin in 2011 cashed out this past week. 8 billion. Well, these Bitcoin people are ending up dead. I mean, I did a show on that. I did a program on that. Was it 8 or was it 15? They're ending up not, passing away from heart attacks or something. They're being murdered. So, I heard the guy that works for the energy department, not electric, but like the energy resource place in Careville, and where is it? Caryville. I should know, and now I've forgotten. I think it's Caryville. And he said he didn't want people to. They didn't, because the reporter said, "Why did I get my warning for this flood at 7 a.m.? Okay, when the waters at 5:36, 6 a.m. ish had risen from 3 feet to 29." And that was a very good question. And the guy said this. This is what he said. This was yesterday, I heard it. He said, we have many rivers that flood. As far as a flash flood, that's different. And he said, we didn't want to cry wolf. He used those words, cry wolf. But I appreciate your question, and we're going to be doing an investigation into this. Now, my thought is they should have cried wolf anyway. And the thing is, I mean, what if, because of some cuts and things in NOAA, I don't know, but what if they find that that's why people didn't get their alerts as soon as they did? Now, granted, people were sleeping, right? But if you're by a river and it's pell-melling rain down, you'd have your alert system on high or whatever. And I think a lot of lives could have been, well, they would have. A lot of lives would have been saved. It says 68 on Dallas channel. It said 78. 78, and they're going to, of people that have passed. Not 44 anymore, not 51, not 68, 78. And that was alarming. So yeah. And there's some that can't be identified, except through DNA later on. And I don't know. It's when you're younger, you probably think, well, I did. When I was younger, I thought, okay, if you're drowning going down a river, you're just floating away and eventually you'll get submerged and you can't come up. No, you're banging and bouncing into, logs and refrigerators and cars and debris all over the place, and how scary. And I'm sure you guys have heard some of the stories. One young guy, I think he was 20, went over to help his mother get out of her RV or trailer. I think it was a trailer, and or an RV, and he was swept away. A fireman is missing. A father yesterday was walking along the banks of the Guadalupe River looking for his daughter. These are things I've seen. I'm sure you guys saw this. One gal, she looked like she was all of 18 or 20, was up in a tree. Her hair was short, not a youngish girl like 12 or 13 from Camp Mystic. This is a different woman. And she was way up in this tree and the water was still moving below her. And she had told someone that her boyfriend and her were floating down, and he was screaming at her saying, grab anything you can find, grab it. And so she grabbed the tree, and he's gone. They still haven't found him, but she was saved, by the helicopter and stuff. So, the numbers are going to go up because people are still missing, like that, those grandparents that were down there with their 2 granddaughters, both pretty young, and they're still missing, but the girls were found. It's horrific. And it's really, I've been in a tornado when I was 5. The entire house was lifted up. In the silo, everything was blown out. The pond with the ducks. This was in Iowa when I was staying with my grandparents in Akron, Iowa. So I do have a little experience with something weather-wise being really, really scary. And they had, plum trees and everything was just uprooted and just stuff all over. And I remember earlier that day, I was playing with my sister with little teacups and whatnot. And I remember really hearing glass just blowing. And I was thinking of the teacups at the time. Long story short, my grandpa knew one was coming. I guess didn't want to alarm Elaine, his wife. They're both passed now, of course. And so he got the cellar ready. He, I guess, moved the rug, and it was just a regular basement. And she was over at the window looking or closing something or something, not the window, but anyway, the glass blew into her. And she didn't die. But what I remember is sitting down in a pitch black basement while my sister, a year younger than me at 4, was crying, whimpering, and I was in shock because I really don't think I was crying. And I didn't see, trigger warning, blood oozing all over because it was pitch black. But my grandma must have been in shock. She wasn't screaming. She was just quiet. And then when it went over and stopped, they drove her. Grandpa drove her. I think about that. She had to have had a lot of stitches or something. Now, I'm 63 now. So this is many moons ago, but she lived to be in her 90s. So she survived that, but I do remember of the tornado literally sounding like, a huge loud freight train, just like people say. And that's what one guy said, who wasn't talking, but had told a reporter, maybe some of you heard it, when the water was just rushing up to his house. You could see part of his driveway, broken, the end of it, right up to his house. He said it sounded like a freight train. And nobody thinks, or I didn't, that water moving like that would be that loud. But, it's pitch black and it's at night, and, many people were in their pajamas or their underwear because it's hot, men, whatever. And swept away. And so, oh, you said your birthday cake looked like a prairie fire with the candles. Oh, okay. Nice. At least you had a nice birthday, it sounds like. A prairie fire. That's funny. Tabitha says, which is Rapper, right? I'm bleeding. Well, why are you bleeding, Rapper? Do you know? If you even are. And then somebody, Miss Shelley, said, you're going to bring FEMA back. And he handled it. You know, he was a little caught off guard because, you know, he doesn't want FEMA anymore. And he goes, well, I'll answer that question later. We'll talk about it. You know? Prayers for all involved. That's right, Michelle. Um, I was watching someone earlier and they said it is a NOAA conspiracy, all these flash floods. That's so crazy. A conspiracy when people are dying? I mean, people in their conspiracies, I think, are pretty stupid. How do you know that, Tina? Did you research that or read it somewhere? I'm not sure what all I said, and that was a little while back, but I've researched it and I've read it. And it's from, this is actually from The Guardian, which is a reputable organization, I think. I am the working poor and don't qualify for SNAP, and I buy my health insurance through my work. Yes. That's what my mom used to do. Many people used to do that. I did that when I was waitressing and stuff. Oh, you're 52 and a CNA at an assisted living facility. That's nice, Michelle. Max Smith, the U.S. Navy has been behind weather manipulation since 1946. They used it in Vietnam to flood roads and tunnels in the north. Okay. You wish. You wish says, oh my God, you are old and shaky and your hair is awful. Well, first of all, I am getting older, but I like to say I'm 63 years young. And I'm shaky because I have essential tremors, and I've had those since 1989. I didn't get to a neurologist till 2012. I have 10% chance out of 100, which isn't bad, of it turning into Parkinson's. And my finger, this one, was cut and smashed in my son's bedroom door with 160 pounds to where it was fractured on top and cut even the nerve. The skin was pulled up. It was horrifying. I was bleeding. There was blood on the door, blood on the floor, blood in a towel. I didn't even grab a clean dish towel. I just instantly went like that. And I was screaming while that mostly because it really hurt like heck. But I was kind of afraid I was going to bleed out or something. Like I just didn't know. And I've never cut my fingers or anything like that before. And I had to have 12 stitches and it healed. But I noticed when I watch back my videos, even when I'm dancing, my finger's always out. I can't bend it. I can't bend it like this one. So it's stiff, it's getting cold. And my essential tremors are EFT, essential familial tremors, because my father started tremoring a little bit in his 50s, but I started, let's see, in 1980, I was 18. So 18, I was 27. And as far as my hair, it is pulled back. See? You guys see it? It's just in a ponytail. And it feels a lot cooler because I have to keep the window closed so the kids aren't too loud. So insulting me is okay. You wish. It's okay. Hi, Laura Stevenson's life. Oh my. Michelle says, I'm sure there was a cloud seeding involved, but I can also believe it was an act of God as well. Max Smith says, put this up here. I've seen reports that most of the clouds in America are produced from large steam machines located in dozens of locations around the Pacific Ocean and other places. Well, you're a little more, I don't want to offend you in any way. You seem like a real nice man, Max, and a nice supporter of mine, but you're more into believing conspiracy things than I am, I think. A few hours ago, it was reported that 2 girls were found alive in a tree. That is wonderful. That's amazing. 3 days later. Yeah. They said it was the remnants of the Hurricane Barry that was on the outskirts of Carolina, came over and brought all that precipitation. It rained in 1 hour to equal 4 months. Just the facts. Happened before, same place, link above. Oh, wow. You saw an old couple that got washed down the street and saved? Wow. Oh. NBC Nightly News. Carey, is it pronounced Careville, right? I mean, I keep thinking they're saying Caryville, but it's probably Careville flooding 1987. Yeah, I heard there was a big one there once before. Damn, Tashi, still alive. Bye. Let's be nice, Rapper, okay, please? There is definitely an agenda, but I am crazy who wears a tinfoil hat and a Trump supporter, so there's that. Well, there's many Trump supporters, and there's many that aren't, and that's okay, right? Sprite, I am sorry they are now saying that the 2 girls alive in a tree was a false report. Oh gosh, really? So they were in a tree, but, well, maybe they weren't even found. Okay, stuff like this. Rapper, things about pacemakers, picking on people that either have had a heart attack or haven't, or might have a pacemaker, whatever. That's too immature for my chat, okay? I want you to feel welcome. I've met you up on Team Rose's live. But please. There was an unofficial Cat 5 tornado in Wisconsin in the 1920s. The one crazy detail is a house roof was transported about 20 miles. Yeah. Well, they're saying, well, first I heard the Guadalupe river was, people were transported like 10 miles, or some of these picnickers, or I mean campers, or I mean, yeah, the Mystic campers. Then there was something about 100 miles today. I don't think the Guadalupe's that long, but I think they meant like the destruction and other rivers too. Oh, wow. I did see where there was a 22-year-old who went 12 miles. I think she was found alive in a tree. Maybe that was the one where her boyfriend said, grab anything you can find. Luna 3 Moons says, Rapper's nice. 12 miles downstream. Well, you don't have to care about Tashi. You don't have to care about me, but we don't have to type it in chats. You know what I mean? Okay, that's ridiculous. All right. So I'm trying to get to the bottom so I can read a little more. There's a lot of Tabitha and there's Sean B. Hi, Sean B. Hello. Aw, that's nice of you. Thank you. You've been following me for quite a while, and you say I'm beautiful, look very young for 63. Thanks. I try to take care of myself, but riding my bike as much as I do, and dancing on here and the heat that we've had, and the main problem is my cardiac rehab. I mean, I did it 5 times. I rode my bike there 5 times, whatever. But I have another month and a half to go, and it's all uphill. I can't do it. I mean, I can do that, and I can even be on the first machine. But then when I'm on the second one, and then I got to ride my bike all the way home, it's just a little too much for my age. And this soon after my stress-induced heart attack. Thank you, Michelle. I would make myself and suffer through it if I didn't get exercise like anywhere else in my life. And they actually said that it's there mostly for people who are, really sedentary type thing. Okay, well, if you mean this, that's nice of you to say. Tashi, I'm sorry. I'm heartbroken for what I said. You didn't mean it? Well, that's nice. Thanks for apologizing. Okay, Sprite says, you're looking good, PCT. Don't take the negative comments to heart. I have been watching you on and off for a few years, and I can say you've come a long way, baby, since the who know who days. Who knows who days? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I took a little hiatus a couple of times, and it wasn't for a month. It was 3 months each time. Well, we got ADHD. Being all silly and funny came here to make me laugh. I'm sitting on the toilet reading Green Eggs and Ham by That's really funny. Oh, Lord. Are you going to sit on the toilet tomorrow and read, what's that polka dots one where he goes to the zoo and everything's polka dots? No, I know who, Sprite. Yeah, it's no big deal. Thank you. Thank you for your sweet message, your compliment. Thank you. There's Sandra Ernest. I'm not laughing at that, Sandra. That's sweet. Thank you, Sandra, for coming in. I'm laughing at this because last time you were in, you said, I'm a dork. It's not for everybody. It's for people that can tolerate me. It's for views. It's for subs. It's for entertainment. It's for something different. It's for, yeah, it's not for the lighthearted. No, I'm not. I'm not laughing at your dumbness. You're just hilarious. Now, I am going to have an open panel if I don't pass out from the heat in my room a little later. But hello to the 28 in the olive groves. Okay, so I'm going to read a little bit more about Trump's Project 2025, things like that. Tina's laughing at my dumbass. No, I'm not. When did I even hit that? I didn't even know I even hit that one. Oh, Lord. Okay, now I can't even get anything off. Oh, on stage. Wait, on stage. Okay. Okay, what did I read? Okay, these are specifically proposed changes in the Project 2025. Specifically, proposed changes include significant funding cuts, eliminating NOAA's Climate Research Office, and a 74% cut to NOAA research funding. That's pretty darn high. I don't know about you guys. 74%. Restructuring and transfers, moving NOAA. Should we call it NOAA or NOAA? I guess NOAA's Climate Research Office. Oh, no, I already read that. Moving NOAA offices like the Space Weather Prediction Center and some National Marine Fisheries Service functions to other departments, workforce reductions, planning for layoffs and exploring early termination of leases on NOAA facilities. While these proposals generated criticism and concern, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick stated in a January 2025 confirmation hearing that the agency would not be dismantled. We'll see. He also indicated he would maintain the National Weather Service, a component of NOAA. Okay, The Guardian says, chaos. Trump cuts to NOAA disrupts staffing and weather forecasts. Here's one of the balloons, right, that they put up in the air to forecast hurricanes and whatnot that are coming. It says this: U.S. Climate Agency upended as DOJ efforts to slash federal government compromise email security. I didn't know about this, but I'll read it to you guys. A sense of chaos has gripped, this is by The Guardian, a sense of chaos has gripped the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, one of the world's premier research agencies, with key staff hastily fired and then rehired, cuts to vital weather forecasting operations, and even a new unsecured server that led to staff being deluged by obscene spam emails. NOAA is currently being upended by Donald Trump's desire to slash the federal government workforce, with more than 1,000 people already fired or resigning from the agency, and 1,000 more staffers are expected to be removed as the purge continues. In total, this represents around 20% of the NOAA's workforce. Along with leading climate and marine research, NOAA also houses the National Weather Service, which provides bedrock concerns or bedrock weather forecasts to private providers and the public. There are concerns that the Trump administration's cuts, spearheaded by Elon Musk's so-called Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, could imperil public safety by hindering timely warnings of tornadoes and hurricanes. DOGE has already had to reverse some of its initial firings after removing staff, including those who helped track hurricanes. 5 people involved in the Hurricane Hunter flights were fired, only for 3 of them to be told their jobs will be reinstated. Other staff within the National Weather Service has also been asked to disregard their terminations. NOAA's data collection activity is still being affected, though, with the agency reducing the number of weather balloons it releases in 6 locations across the U.S. The balloons fitted with weather instruments are crucial in providing the information for weather forecasts. This tumultuous era for NOAA was for some staff crystallized by DOGE's decision to use a new email server to send missives from the federal government's Office of Personnel Management to the agency. The email server was not secure, meaning that staff got dozens of spam-like emails in January, one of them with a lewd title about the president and another stating the next 4 years has a blank 99% chance of shit showers. While NOAA has since resolved the lack of email server security, staff said that it was emblematic of growing turmoil within the agency. The feeling has been, "You've got to be kidding me," said one staffer, who was fired but is now on administrative leave pending potential reinstatement. These people at DOGE think they are the best at what they do, but they can't even protect an email list. They fired people and then had to hire them back. They are cutting contracts without learning what they are. I mean, good Lord, take a minute before doing this. It's an absolute joke. Some former NOAA staff and elected Democrats have held recent protests outside the agency's headquarters in Silver Spring, Maryland, warning that the cuts risk hampering the flow of crucial weather and climate information, as well as regulatory work around fisheries that prevent the over-exploitation of the oceans. Dysfunction is the polite way of putting it. You could also say it is incompetent chaos, said Andrew Rosenberg, formerly the deputy director of NOAA's National Marine Fisheries Service. This administration is paying people on administrative leave and asking staff to name 5 good things they've done, but they get email bounce backs when they do because the inboxes are full. If you were looking at the inverse of efficiency, this would be it. Goodness gracious. Look at this. I don't know. Is it a commercial? Look at this. Okay. I've never ever seen that before. And then it just disappeared. Rosenberg said remaining NOAA staff are striving to continue their work, but the mission of the agency is being degraded. A year from now, people will notice things are missing that used to be there, and DOGE and others promoting this will say, "See? Told you government can't do things," rather than "we broke it and it got worse." NOAA staff right now aren't happy because they don't know if they will keep their jobs. Work has been made harder for no reason, and they are being told they are worthless. No one has even explained why they are doing all of this crap. NOAA did not immediately respond to a request for comment. So, wow. Okay, so that was by Betsy Reed. Before I forget, Mary Jane Doe, could you put the disclaimer for me in chat? That'd be so nice of you. Rhonda Rodriguez. Oops, I got to hit it again. Okay. Hey, PCT, came by to say hi. Hey, Tashi, Luna Moon. Oh, that's really nice. Thank you. Oh, you wish is looking in the mirror and talking to themselves, says Luna Moon. Oh, in all honesty, I'm going to say it's probably a turtle. Okay. Turtles don't like me because they will never get the truth of Virginia and me and a certain person on Dolly Vision. They'll never get it. Sub up to Tashi. She does really cool nail art. Oh, good. Thank you. Luna, put your link in too. Oh my God, Tina's wearing the shirt that she beat me down and stole from me last week. Oh my God, you say I'm always beating you up. It was hilarious. I just left the hospital. You're so funny. No, they were on sale. They were like, I don't know. I think they're like $25, marked down to like 10 or 12. And watch my language. Oh my God, you're hilarious. And I liked this one because let's take a gander. Oops. Let me turn off comments so the thing's bigger. Flag, watermelon, fireworks. Smiley face with stars for eyes. My daughter Shaylin really liked the cowboy boots. Ice cream cone, hot dog. What is that? I mean, it could be a beer with a straw. It could be a sippy cup. It could be wine poured in a thing. Who knows? What's this? Okay, this is a little flower. And then you've got your cheeseburger and your truck, your pickup. It's very country, isn't it? I feel like I'm down south. Cherries. Cherries, I guess, just because they're red. I don't know. Okay, and a coffee cup and a grill and some cool sunglasses and more fireworks. And I cut the sleeves off just today in the neck because I'm a wannabe redneck. My daughter said, "Oh my gosh, I'm glad you got me my own and didn't cut up my shirt or something." What? Let me see. Oh my gosh, really, Rhonda? Okay, let me get up here. It's starting to storm again here in Texas. You're in Texas, Rhonda? I know. And right there in Kerrville, is that how it's pronounced? Kerrville. It's there's a flood. I mean, there's a warnings again. I mean, I don't know if it's a flash flood warning, but it really might be. And I'm not just saying that. Yeah, are you safe? Excuse me. Are you safe? Says Luna. Everything Tina is saying is exactly right. Well, thank you, Rhonda. Luna, yes, but I'm about 30 minutes away from Guadalupe River, says Rhonda. 30 minutes. Wow. I'm like trying to put that in perspective. I'm 45 minutes from Burlington, Washington. I might be 30 or 35 minutes from, what is the name of that other town? Now I can't remember. I'm 22 minutes from Linden, so that would be a little farther past that. but the water moves fast when it floods. You should probably leave, because for one, it's 8:40, so maybe it's not quite dark yet, right? It gets darkish at like 10, or at least here 9. And get to higher ground at least. Thank you, Mary Jane. ADHD is laughing. Luna Moon. I'm still a turtle and I love you. Well, thank you. Subbed up Luna. Nice. Okay, is this true? I don't need a copyright disclaimer when you're reading and showing articles. I think I do, though. I mean, well, I don't know. Are you sure about that? Oh, 3D sunglasses, epic, on my shirt. Careville. Wait, is it Kerrville? Is it pronounced Kerrville? Because they're not saying that on at least Live Now Fox. They're saying Careville. But the way you have it typed there, Tina, you cracked me up. Oh, see, it is a flash flood warning. Make an escape plan, says Mary Jane Doe. Yeah. I mean, when we had those fires around, I mean, okay, or 2 years ago, because that was the last time I Googled it, in one day in the state of Washington State, not counting Canada that catches on fire now and then, in Montana and Oregon, right? There were 540 fires. It said it, and then it showed all these flames all over this page. I was like, what on earth? So there were 4 days we couldn't have our windows even cracked, because the smoke out there is equivalent to, they say, 15 cigarettes in 1 hour. So when I saw little kids running around riding their bikes and they were out there, I mean, their parents have no clue. But anyway, yeah. Your area has been okay, says Rhonda. Well, that's good. Oh, okay. So I brought that up because, as people know, we've got our 3, I don't know, I guess they're not adult, they're teenagers now. Our kittens, our 3 little girls, Sunshine, Tulip, and Rain. They're so funny. They like to, when I let them in here when I'm live, which I do once in a blue moon, they like to knock this over and rub their chin on it and knock the little table and whatever. But I've got plenty of cat carriers. I was given a dog, or a puppy one. Well, to me, it's like a small dog. So I could fit, good grief, the mommy and daddy in there and a kitten. And you know what I mean? So my friend Teresa in this town that I saw for my birthday at Dairy Queen was like, here, you know, after her doggie passed away. And I said, first I was going to be like, Then I thought, no, I really better, you know. If you're posting original content that's not yours, then you get a strike. Do you have a channel? Do you work with TOS? I think you work with TOS, ADHD. Okay. Kerrville. Boy, a lot of people say Careville, which is fine. A lot of stuff is fair use, though. So as long as you make it transformative, you can review things. Okay, transformative, meaning kind of just add my own little quips in now and then or something or whatever. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've got a mommy and a daddy and the kittens and possibly one more, but I'm not sure. Well, we had the older one is I had him on even a diet through chewy.com, and in a month and a half, because I kept track, that cat lost only a pound in a month and a half. And I gave that kitty, and she seemed fine with it, Panda, half a cup of that called perfect weight, because that's what the cat clinic told me I should do, the doctor. And when I brought her in for her exam and everything. And then, but she could have a little bit of meat in the morning with it. And I don't even give them meat every day. For one, I can't afford it, and they can nibble on their dry and stuff. But I don't know. It just didn't seem like it was working. I mean, I don't know. And then I have catnip from Maggie in the UK gave me real catnip, and I mean real. I'll show you the catnip. Okay, I have to keep it in here. I have to keep it in here. The cats will go bonkers. Have you guys seen this before? It came all the way from the UK. Yow. Catnip tub. Isn't that funny? Look at this cat. Yow catnip. And see how fresh it is? I better not put it on my bed. I just don't let him in here a lot. I've lived here 40 years. It's Kerrville. They're saying it wrong. Okay, yeah. No, I believe you. I just, yeah. Maybe it's just different people's accents, as Mary Jane Doe. No. No, with my trust fund, which is no longer. But anyway, it lasted 8 months. I got 2 of the kittens fixed, 2 for only $55. And then the other kitten and the mama, because they're all girls, right, were $350 a piece. So boom, there was $700. Yeah. Oh, you have seen it? Yeah, they probably sell it here. I wasn't really sure. Okay. So but like, you guys remember when I showed I think they're called the dancing grannies, and I mean they were like, I mean, okay, they were on that show, you know, in the UK, whatever it's called, like the most entertainment thing, and I forgot about the rap song they were dancing to and copyright, and I was put in the timeout chair for 14 days. Yeah. The catnip bubbles are fun. Okay, I've never heard of that. Wow. I bought bubbles in a pink thing once, and they weren't really into them. You know, when a fly, even a teeny little gnat, gets in, like if I go out to spray the flowers or something on the deck, the cats go nuts. And they leap 4 feet in the air and they get them, you know. Now the bigger ones, you know me and bugs. I mean, I'm different. I have my long cup and I get down on my knees and I take a tissue and I put it here and I get that thing in the cup and I release it off the deck. Now I know flies, right? They only live what, 1 day once they're inside, I've heard. But yeah, the kitties like to eat them. It grosses me out. I feel bad for the fly. What? You pee once a week for an hour. Once a week for an hour. I think I'm sick. Well, I don't see a laugh emoji after it. Nobody pees once a week. Well, you must be extremely dehydrated. It's half of that here in Ohio. Half of what? Half of that here in Ohio. I don't even know what I was talking about. That's right, Luna, you're in Ohio. ADHD has laugh faces. Now, see, this is what I mean. I don't know. I mean, if he was serious, I think it's a guy. I think this is the husband. And he's bored. You need a life. Well, you've got one on here. You make me laugh. All righty. Now, does my hair look okay like this? Okay, now I'm a little bit paranoid. I've got my tendrils. It's not black. It's a brownish red. I have a little red barrette in. And did you guys see my ponytail holders? A dark blue one has stars on it, and the other one's red. Can you guys see that? I don't know if you saw it. You know me, I like to match. Oh, yes, that was a joke. The YouTube info is real. Okay. Did you guys see it? I mean, I know it's short, but I like bobs. They're kind of fun. Cherry Coke. Yeah, see, it's right here. And now I'm thirsty. I'm actually thirsty for something. I think I need to go in and get a Powerade. Okay, so. Okay, well, wouldn't Elon Musk also be really upset? Isn't he? He's not with NASA, but he builds rockets and whatnot. So if there are efforts, disaster alert, Reid warns Trump's efforts. Oh, wait. The true cost of Trump's cuts to NOAA and NASA. I'm glad those two are fighting. I'm glad. I've been glad ever since. What do you guys think? Put in chat if you like the new, put a 1 in chat if you like the new, what is it? The America political party that Elon started. Is that hilarious? And Trump today, when he got off the plane, was asked about it, and he goes, his exact words were, "Oh, that's ridiculous." And then he goes, something else, and then he goes, he can have fun with that. About Elon. He said he can have fun with that. Like he's a kid. Oh my gosh, you guys are funny. Yeah, well, he put it on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, 2 days ago. I saw it. I mean, when you've got two huge, pompous ego heads hitting each other, what do you expect, right? Oh, come on already. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I remember seeing that protest with NOAA back in, are you on X or Twitter? Am I? Oh, heck no. I'm not on Instagram. I'm not on Twitter. I never have been. I could barely figure out Messenger 2 years ago. God. Remember I did that whole video, Mary Jane Doe, on copy and pasting? I don't like Trump, just my own opinion, and I'm glad they're fighting. You too, Rhonda. Yeah, me too. Okay. Dismantling NOAA would break life-saving weather and climate data and tools people in U.S. rely on daily. Oh, come on already. What? Oh, okay. In February, DOGE representatives have reportedly set their sights on dismantling NOAA. That was published in February of 2025. Well, you know. Okay, now, I didn't know that President Nixon was the creator. I mean, it says right here, created under President Nixon, or under President Nixon, okay, not. NOAA is one of the primary science agencies in the federal government. It provides data and analysis, most notably life-saving information that aids in forecasting U.S. weather and climate extremes. Okay, this is extreme in Texas. The fires in Greece and Turkey right now are extreme. The fires in Oklahoma last year, okay, that was unheard of. That's extreme. Now, they said when I was looking at the fires in Crete and Pilichiki and Creola and all these other places, which I probably butchered the names, and I apologize for anyone Greek ever seeing this, said it's because the Mediterranean Sea is getting warmer every year. Every year. Yep. And our oceans are too. Even if it's only 3 degrees warmer, the hurricanes are more intense. Right? The tornadoes, the fires, and everything is more intense and lasts longer. So scary. Am I on YouTube, ADHD? No, I'm on StreamYard right now. LBI228, hello, how are you? Cloud seeding causes all the rains. Yeah, was it Max Smith that brought up the cloud seeding earlier? So, okay, so life-saving information that aids in forecasting U.S. weather and climate extremes used daily by the public, local, and state governments, emergency responders in the private sector. The Project 2025 Manifesto, which has been heavily utilized by President Trump and Musk's DOGE, calls for dismantling NOAA and commercializing its forecasting work making this essential data largely inaccessible to the public for free. This week, President Donald Trump also nominated meteorologist Dr. Neil Jacobs, who was at the center of the infamous Sharpiegate scandal in 2019, to serve as the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration Administrator. Good grief. Okay, this is an article in February of 2025. Every person in the U.S. relies on NOAA data and agency experts in their daily life, whether they realize it or not. Daily weather forecasts, farming outlooks, coastal flooding projections, wildfire alerts, and hurricane tracking are all dependent on the best available NOAA data. Unsurprisingly, no other U.S. agency has the mandate. Tools or scientists at the ready to do the work NOAA routinely performs and provides for free for the public good. In a world where catastrophic climate change impacts and extreme weather events are becoming more frequent and intense, I just said that too, I can think of nothing worse than turning this scientific powerhouse into a skeletal operation. If President Trump moves forward with demolishing NOAA, he will jeopardize most people's access to life-saving information, while only the rich might be able to afford private data sources. Congress must challenge unlawful Trump administration actions and acknowledge that decimating the nation's premier climate science agency will not make the existential climate change threat disappear. The Secretary of Commerce, who promised during his confirmation hearing that NOAA wouldn't be dismantled, must also speak up forcefully against any destructive actions. The United States is nearing a constitutional crisis that not only threatens individual agencies and their vital missions, but our very democracy and government. UCS will be closely following any downsizing of NOAA and efforts to privatize agency data, as well as the confirmation process for Dr. Jacobs. Well, Alaska is always cold there, having a heat wave, says Rhonda Rodriguez. Wow. Mary Jane Doe, our poor oceans are filled with trash. All the fish and ocean life are dying. Yeah, I saw on TV, I don't know, quite a few years back, when you buy your plastic things that, all your Powerades and whatever, Propels and all the, well, Propels might be in a bog. No. Well, anyway, whatever the drinks are that are attached to those plastic things with the circles, I don't just throw it away. Every time, even when I don't feel like it, I take my scissors and I cut into every little hole. And even the teeny little hole like this, it's up by the top, because marine life, little baby turtles and all kinds of things are getting caught in those. Very sad. Okay, I'm going to put this on the screen. Trump is literally like cancer. He's spreading all through the U.S. only to kill it from within. Prove me wrong. Yeah, I'm just glad he's 79 already. If he has a chance to run again, I think he's pompous enough to do it, even though supposedly he told people a few months back he was not going to. I don't even particularly like J.D. Vance, but I'd rather him be president. I would rather anybody out there, any Republican be president than him. I really would. I don't think he really thinks before he does things. And I knew it was going to be less than 2 weeks that he would drop that, whatever it was, 30,000 pound, whatever kind of bomb on I ran. And when I got off my show, Peggy put in my chat, he dropped the thing when I ended my live, and I didn't even respond with like what or a heart or anything because I thought she was joking. Turn the news on, and sure enough, now I know they did it for like element of surprise and all this and that, the other thing, but they say, they think, well, we don't know, it's 50-50, right? That Iran knew it was coming somehow, some way, someday, and they removed a lot of uranium or something down there. Just too much. Well, no, he can't run a third term, but guess what? He could possibly try, there's been talk of it, Rhonda, of making a third term, changing that now too. I mean, he just changes everything. Yeah. Trump had got more done in this short of time than any other president. Don't listen to the media and their BS. Well, this is like what I told Michelle earlier. I don't go to CNN. I and NBC and ABC. I mean, if there's a little something somewhere, and I'm Live Now Fox is like on their 2-minute commercial all the time, and I'm not talking Fox News. I'm talking Live Now Fox. Streaming out of New York City and Arizona and all this on a Fox channel. That's what I watch. They're unbiased. They never ever say, oh my gosh, did Trump really do this? No, they just get the facts in real time. So I'm a Democrat, LBI 228, who's been in here many times and is even a mod, believes in Trump. Wild Angel, Sherry, Wild Angel's Bucket List of Adventures. I hope I don't get this wrong. I think she believes in Trump. Or maybe she doesn't believe in Trump and she's a Republican. Or maybe she told me once she's not. Or is that Leanie? I guess Leanie is not a Republican, but likes what Trump is doing, I think, but is an independent, I think. I can't keep it all straight anymore. Well, there's Mr. Turtle Talks. Hi, everyone. Mr. Turtle Talks. Haven't I had Mrs. Turtle Talks in here before? Is this the husband? Mr. Turtle Talks. Okay. Well, I don't know. I was going to have a panel, but I think it's from sitting here and not sipping on water, and I have to lean in all the darn time to see the chat. And if I have it higher than that, it's too much in the background. It's been an hour and a half. Yeah, so does anyone know if they found, trigger warning, I'll just say it, I don't have to put it up, but did they find the remains of those 7 people missing in the, what is it called, you guys, in the factory that blew up in California with the fireworks, Oh, and there's Turtle Talk. Mr. Turtle Talks, and now we got Turtle Talk. Hi there. I've been good. Yeah, I'm just, it doesn't, well, it's on 1 right now, and on 2 and 3, it's really loud. I mean, that one. It's only on one right now, though. Yeah, I've been good. I mean, if I lay in bed and think about my mother and the times that, I wish I had, like, not called her once a week or whatever, and was more because she was there in Burlington, Vermont with me, and I'm in my young 20s. I wish I had put myself in her shoes more and spent more time with her when I was younger. But I also didn't feel, and I'm not making excuses right now, but my thinking was she was newly married to Steve, who she was a nurse for at the hospital. And he was in there, and he asked her to dinner. And she said, yeah, I'll go to dinner with you when you get out of here. And they got married, I think it was 2 years later. And they were together for 40 some years. And he was always kind of eccentric. He was selling refurbished, is that the word, for Oriental rugs in New York. And they lived on their houseboat for 4 years. And then when they had enough of that, or I don't know why they left actually, but they went to Key West, and there was the Blue Horse. It was called the Blue Horse Antique Store, and they ran that for 10 years. So now that I'm like my mom's age back then, right? Well, 30, 40, 50, younger. My mom was even younger than I am now. I think back about her life. Oh, thanks. I think back about her life, and I think she had a pretty happy, good life. But I know when my sister and I lived in Burlington, Vermont, there was cut into our door with a knife. Like, just someone took a long time. I must have been waitressing. My sister was probably waitressing. We obviously weren't there. And then dark blue pen on top, and it said, it was weird. Like, to this day, I don't know who it was. I called the police. It said, "You've effed the rest." Just my sister and I lived there. "You've effed the rest. Now we're the best." We were on Buell Street. Not the sluts, the blowjobs, I don't know, the something starts with B, it wasn't BITCH, of something street, and big like this on our front brown door. And if something like that happened now, I'd be really, really scared. And I would make sure like an investigation was done but in the 80s, we didn't have the cameras. You know what I mean? So like, what do they do? No, not brothel. That's really funny, ADHD. No, but it was scary. And I remember a cop coming over and looking at it and saying, "Do you guys have enemies?" And we're like, "No, I don't think so." Well, then one night I had gone out and I got home at like 2 a.m, and I was living in Winooski, Vermont, which is right next to Burlington, with my mother. I think I was 20 or 21. And somebody had called my phone, or my mother's phone, which was our phone, because again, we didn't have cell phones back then. And it was a female and threatened my life. My mom didn't bring it up, but I did, because I said, "Someone's been called earlier or something and said, I'm going to Killu, like that. And it was a female. And I didn't want to upset my mom. But then I felt like I needed to tell her. And she said, yes, they called tonight. I just hung up on them. And I was like, so like things like that, like you guys are really lucky. You live in an age where there's cameras and, well, I suppose there were peepholes back then, but there just wasn't all the the help and everything to. But yeah, so I've been through some scary things in my life. I actually had someone call and they were breathing. Yeah, that was in the middle of the day. And I remember we had painters outside of we didn't live like in apartment complexes like this. We were in houses that we rented out. That was scary. And then when I got back, I'm just going to go through some of them right now. When I got back from Okinawa, and of course had partied, and then stayed out later than my sister, and stupidly was hitchhiking, literally diagonally across from where I was a waitress, so I felt all safe being in town with the lights, and a van picked me up, and I got in, right? And then I told him to take a left because I was living like in Winooski at that time. And he wouldn't. Next thing I knew, I was in the country. He was going really fast. And I stayed calm. I said, where are we going? And he didn't say I'm going to RAPE you. He said I'm going to FUCK you. So that scared me. I looked over and I saw all these sharpened pencils and a yellow notebook thing sitting there. First, when I heard that, I remember feeling like I wanted to just, as the car was moving, jump out in the woods. But I knew I'd probably die or whatever, or I'd fall out and he'd chase me. So I tried to use my mind. And And I said, oh, you don't want to do that. I said, let's go to breakfast. That's what I said to this nearly RAPIST. Or, I don't know if he had done it before. And you guys, not to be mean, but he had these pock marks. And he was a good 20 years older than me. And And he said, instead of, no, we're going to do this or something, he said, oh, you don't want to go to breakfast with me. And I said, no, I do. I'll give you my phone number right here. And he handed me a pencil and the notepad, and I wrote down my real phone number. I was that scared. Like I shouldn't have. I could have easily made up one, but I was so scared. And he called it. And my mom said she doesn't live here, to this person, and hung up. And then I've told this story. I was working at Wesson's Diner in Burlington, Vermont, 4 years later, and he was the dishwasher there. I'm not kidding. And I remember feeling angry and kind of pissed and kind of uppity and kind of pompous because I survived that. And he was sitting in a chair in the kitchen, and I told him who he was to me, and his face turned real red, and he didn't stay working there very long after I got hired. Yeah, these are real true stories. Not counting another time I went out drinking with my ex-husband, and I had quite a few Long Island iced teas, probably 5, maybe 6, who knows. And he got mad at me because I probably wanted to stay for another, which was probably the 6th. Maybe it was 5. But anyway, it was about 8:30, and he left. He left me there. So I was walking home, and I was here. I was in Sudden Valley, which is I don't know, 3 miles up and over into the mountain area. It's real pretty. They have a golf course, and you got to have quite a bit of money, and you can look over the bay and this and that. And I'm walking home, and it's getting dusky, and I had my brown leather boots on tucked into my jeans, so I couldn't run very well or anything. And I wasn't hitchhiking, I was just walking. And I think I got a little lost, and I ended up higher up, and it was darker. And I've said this story before. A man was standing by his pickup. Well, a pickup was ahead of me and pulled over, and he just started peeing. Now, I'm pretty far away, but within, I don't know, 2 minutes time, I would be there. So I acted like I didn't notice him. So, but I slowed my walk down a little bit because I didn't want to get too close, because I had a weird feeling about him. And I don't even know if he was really going to the bathroom. Anyway, he got in his truck, and my intuition said, you're in danger. I don't know. So I jumped into the ditch. I remember this, and I hid behind a rock that was there. And the thing that freaked me out the most is that to go around this little wooded area, he had to have floored it, because by the time I got down there and both of my boots behind the rock, he was coming around driving and looking for me. He was looking for me. And that's when my heart started racing, and I started whimpering, and then he kept going on by, and I waited till he, was out of sight, because I figured he thought that I must have hitchhiked really quick and got a ride like that. And so I jumped out, and I was hitchhiking and just sobbing. I was so scared. And a Winnebago with a family picked me up. I probably scared the daylights out of their kids, and they gave me a ride home. But I snapped out of my buzz really fast. And I remember telling my ex about it, and he didn't care. He didn't care. Yeah. And that's not counting. I mean, this is in the 80s, you guys. And another time, my sister and I were home. My mom was a nurse at the hospital from 3 to 11. And it was after school. I think it was around 3:30. And we heard a car pull up into our driveway, and no knock. So me, being the bigger sister, went to the door, and we had 2 diamondy window things. And I looked, I didn't see anyone, but I saw the light blue Volkswagen car door left open. So now I'm really scared. I'm like, what are they, going around the back? Are they going to break in? I just, and my sister's just a year younger. And then I looked down. Well, I didn't look down. I saw these legs sticking out that were hairy, thin. The guy looked youngish, whatever. Sandals, brown sandals, leaned up. Here's my door. So his body's like this with his legs out like this. So his back is against the door like he's hiding down below. I'm not kidding. So then I go, and then Ashley's to my left. Like, I remember these details, and I went like that, pointed, just didn't even talk. Our window was open, didn't want him to hear. And then I decided to be what I thought would be the protector, or catch him, or be brazen, or whatever. And I remember booking it, and he had to have heard me, booking it out the screen door by the kitchen to run down the steps to flip and see who this was. No phone to get his license plate number. No, do you know what I mean? I didn't even think he would necessarily hurt me with a weapon. I just wanted to see who it was. I kid you not. By the time I went through my living room, and I was running, and down just a few steps, he was already in his car, 1 block down, with his light flashing, taking a left. Yeah. So, yeah. So that happened. And then another time, Mom was at the hospital, and this guy with this beard and everything just showed up at our door, not knocking, not anything. He lived in a duplex. He was pushing on the doorknob like this. So scary. Called the cops. We had these little wooden windows up above with a latch. I remember the guy walking through, checking it. Yeah. I mean, it's like, and so I've been through things, and that's just a few things. That's not the time I was on the ship with those Canadian guys, and I almost got RAPED'd because one pulled me down into the bottom part of the boat and was about to do it, and instead he sprayed and jacked off all over on the top of the boat while some of them were laughing and another one was saying, "This isn't right." And I was way far away from shore, but they pulled up anchor and brought me back because of that one guy, and then a guy mopping at 3 a.m. gave me a ride home in his Jeep. And I was bawling. I was like freaked out. I mean, there's just story after story. So nowadays, even though we have cameras and stuff, my daughter's peeking in the door. Things really scare me still because I've been through stuff. Just a minute. All right. My daughter's been sick. She's got 2 earaches. I don't know if you can get swimmer's ear from one time going in the pool, but it's been years and she wanted to use it. We got an amenity pass and all this. And yeah. And she's got a sore throat. And yeah, I told her if her ears still hurt on Monday, we should bring her to the doctor. So I gave her another jar of the hot fudge that I bought because I picked up 3 to go with our hot fudge sundaes, and she's putting it on some ice cream right now. And my son is asleep at 6:30 p.m. He was up all night, probably all day. Oh, the nuts. Gotta get those nuts. I mean, the peanuts. I told them you have to help. The whipped cream is on the top thing. Are you still taking? The whipped cream is on the top on the left. I had to keep the little peanut and pecan nuts in here, the little teeny shreds that go on top, or my son will just eat them. Ice cream sundae. It's 8:30 p.m. Oh, 8:30 where you are, Rhonda. That's right. It's not 9:30. I don't think it matters though. No, I didn't mute because I was just talking about nuts. Strep throat? Gosh, I hope not. This is what happened. She was riding her bike just around, was it the day? Was it the 3rd or was it on the 4th? Now I can't remember. The 3rd or the 4th, around the complex here. It's just where she wanted to go. I said, if you leave, just let me know. You know, we live together. I just want to know if she leaves. And she's 21, you know, for those that don't know. And she said her throat was hurting a little, so she had a lozenge. Well, she wanted to go swimming. She wanted me to go in, but she could barely get in. It was cold, and it's supposed to be a heated pool here of like 80. Yeah, right. It's probably 60. And the hot tub has this red tape around it, and it's all murky on top. And you'd think for what people pay that aren't on housing, live here, they'd get that fixed for the summer, but they're not getting it done. Anyway, so she went swimming. We were there 1 hour. That's what we were allowed on our amenity pass. And that's so they can fit people in different time slots. So from 3 to 4. And she put spray lotion that I buy all over, but not on her face. And I thought maybe she got a little heat stroke. She wasn't red, like burnt red. Her body wasn't. But that night she felt pretty darn warm. So I thought, well, by the next day, meaning 2 days ago, she'd be feeling better. And then her ear was hurting, and her other ear. And now one ear is stuffed up. And she thinks she just has some kind of cold, but I want, you know, she might need antibiotics. And yeah, if she has strep throat. So I'm really hoping I don't get sick. And she blows in a Kleenex for a little garbage. We have an empty Kleenex box, so she'll just put that in there. But I don't want to get sick. Like, I'm sitting here now, but that's because when I started my live at almost 2 hours ago, I was busy from when I got up, which was about 10:30, 11, clear, doing things, litter boxes, the cats, watering the plants, making a bed, emptying the dishwasher, getting some meals, whatever. I'm constantly doing, filling up Parker's med thing. And then I was like, well, I'm going to go live earlier than later. And so I went at 4:30 my time. But yeah, I'm a little bit concerned. So yeah, but you went through scary situations back then, but not like that. Wow, says Rhonda. Yeah. You'll be back momentarily. Thank you for your patience. Says ADHD. There was a lot of grapes. And cereal K back there. Grapes. You mean, what's the word you got? Gangs? Did you mean to put gangs there? Oh my God. I knew it all back then. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the 80s were scary too. And I did do stupid stuff when I drank. Makes me wonder how many crazies are roaming free in the States. Well, you know, I mean, this is the thing. That's why I bought my daughter the little screaming whistle thing. And the first 2 were defective, right? One was like chirping, and then the light wasn't even flashing like it's supposed to. And this one on her keychain works. And I'm really glad, because at least it's a deterrent. If you don't have to dig for it in a purse type deal. And she's not even into purses. She has like a wallet thing that hangs over and it's on the outside. You flip that thing up and they won't be expecting it. It is loud. And I didn't think 130 decibels was that loud. It is if it's working right. Still, though, someone has a weapon, right? And now a lot of these cars, even my neighbor, when he takes us to the store, you hit a button and they all lock. I mean, I don't like that at all. So it's just, yeah. And then people say, well, there's always been just as much crime and scariness. It's just because of the internet, right? That we hear about it more. I don't think so. Okay, I'm just going to say that because people are doing so many drugs these days and neglecting their kids. Or they don't even mean to neglect their kids, and they just do, or whatever. And it's just stuff is happening left and right. Well, they're all kind of, depressing things. I'm telling you right now, for what I've been through in my life and traveling on the Greyhound bus across the United States from one end to the other twice, once from Seattle to Florida, and then another time from Seattle to Rhode Island. And I could have a movie out there just plain called Megan. But I think there already is one, and it's a thriller or something where she's just a wackadoo whatever, and with my real name. Oh, wow. Turtle Talk. I'm doing great. We're on our way to Florida for vacation. It's a 22-hour drive. Oh, wow. Well, be safe. Be safe on those roads. Max Smith says women have a much different view of others than men for many reasons. Yeah, I've only been skiing once on the Bunny Trail. What does that mean? Is that something I should know about? Is there a sexual connotation to that? Did you say bunny trail or bunny tail? Oh my gosh, I'm not going to go back and look. And honestly, you guys, that's just 4 or 5 things I told you about. There's many more things in other states and situations, and I don't know. Just what comes to mind is when I lived in Waltham near Boston, and I walked a ways to go to a bar and play pool. It wasn't even to meet men. It really wasn't. I had a boyfriend. I had Mel, but he was working. And I just wanted to have a couple of drafts and play pool. Well, I stupidly, they were buying me drafts, and I was getting really pretty buzzed, and I felt like I could handle it. And the next thing I know, I'm in their car, but I feel safe because I'm in the parking lot and I can see the door entrance. And they went ahead and did, or how do you do it? Whatever. I didn't. And the next thing I know, the driver lunged at me and ripped my shirt right down the middle. And then I got scared, and the guy in the back seat said, "Hey, what are you doing?" And yeah, I jumped out of the car and I either walked or ran home. And it's like, I don't know. I didn't drink anything for 8 years after my son was born. Nothing, not a drop. My ex kept drinking, and I mainly stopped I mean, sure, a cold beer, a cooler would be great now and then, especially when you're going through stuff, right? But I knew he'd try to take my son from me if something had happened. And yeah, and so then I didn't drink again until I met uh, Shaylin's dad when I was separated, and I had a wine cooler, one of those lemon or Mike's Hard Lemonade, and then it wasn't booze, and it was never like drinking to get just to where you can't walk. It was just to keep that sort of high going, and that feeling of I have control of my life or something when really you don't, type thing. And yeah, and so then it wasn't until my daughter was 7 that I stopped, and I haven't had a drink in 14 years. And it's astounding because when I was bored, I wanted to drink. If I was going to the movies or bowling or the beach or anything, I wanted to drink, right? A barbecue, of course, a birthday party. It didn't matter. And yeah. And then I got on a wine kick for a while when my daughter was younger, just to pass the time and feel like I could talk to other people easier out here. The playground, I had a whatever, pretty tall with a lid on it, and would sip on wine. And that's just, there's so many memories of this place you guys just don't know. I moved in here, for those who don't know, in 2001, and it's 2025. I mean, think how young I was. I think I was 38, not even 40 years old. 38, 48, 58, 9, 61, 2, 3, 38 years old. To me, that's young, And when I was in my 20s, 40s seemed old to me, So yeah. So I'm going to grab my phone out there and show you guys really quick what I tried to film at the pool when on my flip phone. So you'll have to look close. And then I'm gonna end my live. So I'll be right back. This is a funny picture. This is all the cats at the end of my son's bed. This was about a week ago. This is the end of he got himself one of those back pillows or whatever, purple one. This is them. View full screen. We got Ginger, we got all the kittens, we got the mama. I don't think Panda's there. This is 5 kitties at the end of his bed. Look at all of them. Ginger's the orange and white striped daddy on the left. The mama's in there somewhere. Tulip is in there somewhere. Rain is in there somewhere. Sunshine's in there somewhere. Yeah, the movie, oh, great, instead of people saying, oh, great, instead of the assault word. Oh, I didn't know that. Mary Jane. My good old flip phone. I have a whatever phone. I don't think it's an iPhone. Those are like $1,500. But my tremors, especially now that I'm off my propopanol or whatever, they feel like they're worse. But then again, I just don't know. I mean, is it age? Is it my heart attack? Is it my, what is it? You know? Okay, why on earth? Why can't I find? I know it's on here. I saw it on here. Oh, I know what I have to do. This is so silly. I have to go to camera, not gallery. Then when I go to camera, I got to hit gallery. Yeah, there it is. And okay, this is how high up I am. This is pretty high up. That's my deck.
Came out when he thought I went in.
Okay, I'm talking about a bee that I was trying to film the other day to show them that I think, well, not a bee. I looked up wasps and hornets. It's a wasp. It's got these long legs hanging and it's thin. It's not fat with a bunch of venom, and it's not a bee. It's a wasp. Let's see this one.
God, look at it. Oh, nice. It flew away.
Flew away instantly. Okay, I thought I deleted that. Okay, now you'll get a little more of an idea.
God, look at it. Oh, nice. It flew away. It'll come back. Go right up there. Watch.
Okay. I'm only on the 3rd floor, but when I'm up here, isn't that about 30 feet or is that 40? And it makes me think of how high the water was.
It buzzed away. Now it's gonna come back.
Yeah, as soon as I go inside, the bee comes out of the corner, and I'm trying to take a video. It's up there in that teeny corner. Okay, let me show you guys. Right here. Way up there in that teeny little corner. These wasps are walking out and flying.
Up the thing.
It walks up that white whatever thing. Okay, so this is the inside. I went ahead and filmed this for you guys. I'm glad you're all here. This is the inside of the apartment complex I'm at, where you can sit and things like that.
Okay, this is the clubhouse. Offices. We can have birthdays in there. We did when Shaylin was younger. Music there.
We have a music thing there, fireplace.
Recreation room.
See, I'm trying.
She's probably wondering where I am.
My daughter just left the pool.
TV up there. Fitness heart rate.
Okay, so that's part of it. And then I'm showing this because this is where the theater used to be.
This is completely different.
And
they had steps.
They had seats that went up, you guys.
About 5 levels. They took them all out and have this.
I couldn't believe it.
This is the theater room. It's nice. They've got pictures and interesting things up here. And then this is the screen, showing you guys that they really do have a theater here.
But it just doesn't look like a theater, you guys.
But I'm in shock.
Yeah, I haven't looked behind the doors in
Apparently these are the movies.
10 years.
Order. What's that? Just books? Media Center Hours.
See, usually
There they are.
they don't have the doors unlocked like that. Okay, how long have I been muted? Tell me how long I've been muted, or did I just bump it? Oh, Tony's here. Thank you. "30 feet," says Rhonda. Tell me if these little videos have been muted, because I explain what's here. They're just short. They're on my flip phone. I'm not muted now. Well, then it just muted. Okay. And then this is the one where, okay, good. We're at the pool. And she got pretty darn sick after that. I asked her. I said, "Did you swallow some water maybe or something?" You know, I don't know. I don't know how. I mean, they have to keep it clean, but you'll see it a little bit. I'm leaning it back like this so the reflection, see, down there doesn't get in the way. Okay, obviously that's my foot.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh, my tremors. There's my daughter swimming away. Oh, gosh. What is wrong with me? Oh, my God. I'm like so... Sun was so bright. This was actually the 4th. No, it was the 3rd. See? Sweltering. It's real short. I think it's over in about 2 seconds. Alexandria Smith, my dad Mark loves you. Well, that's nice. I think I remember you saying that when I first started. Is your dad Mark Smith? He was in here the other day. I hadn't seen him in a long time. He doesn't love me. Maybe he likes me. That's nice, though. Thank you. Good to see you, Tony. Reggie Long. Hello, Reggie. Looks like your bed with cats, says Rhonda, that one picture. Yeah. So, yeah. So what'd you guys think of that? That was kind of neat, huh? I wasn't planning on filming, or I, could have had this, other iPad. But I used to go in the hot tub a lot. It was nice, I mean, it was hot when you got in, but then within 6 seconds or whatever, your body regulates, to the temperature. Oh, hi, Ann P. Hello. Wow. Hi, everybody. Well, I didn't say Trump caused the floods. I just said Trump is slowly, to me, my opinion, surely dismantling the national, oceanic, atmospheric, administration. And somebody on the news said Texas was drowning. So I grabbed that idea, and, you know, I don't have big, incredible thumbnails like other creators, but I like my words sometimes, titles, to pop out a little bit, and I think it did. And I just don't like where things are headed. It's when you've already had, I bring it up all the time, you've already had a stroke, like I did 4 years ago, and then a stress-induced heart attack. And you don't know if you're going to have health insurance the next time you maybe have something. It's nerve-wracking, but I can't worry about what I can't control, because then I'll end up having another one, or not. I will, but I could. So, oh, thanks, Rhonda. So, you guys, I've been live 2 hours and 20 minutes, and I'm going to go, and I'm not going to do my outro song because I just don't feel real happy today. I mean, how can anybody, knowing these young girls, and I saw a picture of them in Facebook. It had all the girls, all of them, all of them in one thing with 2 workers on each end, a name above every single one that was missing. And guess what? It was every girl. It was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the bottom, another 5 on top. And now they're saying one of the, assistants or whatever that work with the girls is missing. I don't know if it's the guy. There was a guy. And apparently there were girl camps and there were guy camps or boys camps somewhere. And then I also heard that this Mystic camp place started in the, okay, I don't want to get this information wrong, but we're talking like in the 20s, because from the 40s to the 50s or 40s to the 60s, it was held as a, oh, now I can't remember, something to do with the military. It was used, these, buildings. And then since the 70s, it's been a camp for girls. Now, they said it held 750 girls. But yeah, so somebody had put that in, that I know, in Facebook, because I think I just have Facebook friends. I don't know. I rarely ever go to Facebook. It doesn't really appeal to me anymore. And then different pictures of the other people. So I'm going to end my live and say many prayers and miracles to, the families that are waiting and wondering, just prayers, right? To the victims and everything. And just, if you listen to the music again in the beginning of my live, there's one song by a Mark someone and these 3 other band members. It almost sounds like bubbling water in one area and kind of, I don't want to say gurgling, but not drowning, but it's really kind of intense. And one of the songs was called bothers me if I can't at least say who it is, which I thought was kind of telling, the names of the songs. I did 2 songs at the beginning of my live, and it's so bright. And yeah, the first one was called Long Distance, and it made me think of the distance these people went down the water. The second one was called Hanging Motionless. Isn't that something? So, yeah. So I'll just end my live now. Please hit the like. Please subscribe to me if you're willing to. I'm doing really pretty good, especially over the 4th and being on YouTube Live. Definitely get more subscribers that way. But I thought I was going to have a panel. I even put it in description, but I've talked so much and talked so much to you guys and read so much that I'm just ready to go. So, yeah, if you open your heart, you will be blessed. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I'll put that up on screen. All right, you guys. PCT is extreme. Love you so much. Possibly see you tomorrow. My son has a doctor's appointment, actually a gastroenterology appointment. And yeah, so we'll go from there. Bye, everybody.